Well, buckle up, because you've just stumbled across a story that's going to blow your mind. Picture this: a woman walks into a bustling office building, her heels clicking on the polished floor, her mind racing with ambition and dreams. She's got her eyes on the prize, climbing the corporate ladder, making a name for herself. But then she bumps into him. A guy in a faded jumpsuit, pushing a mop, blending into the background like he's just another face in the crowd. She assumes he's the janitor, maybe gives him a polite nod, and moves on with her day. But what if I told you that man, the one she barely noticed, is hiding a secret so big it could turn her entire world upside down? What if I told you he's not just a janitor? He's the CEO of the whole darn company, living undercover, watching, listening, and waiting for the perfect moment to reveal who he really is. That's right, this is the story of She Thought He Was a Janitor. He was actually the CEO in hiding. And trust me, you're not going to want to miss a single second of this inspiring story full of hidden identity, life-changing twists, and jaw-dropping moments that'll leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about the people around you. So grab your favorite snack, hit that subscribe button, and let's dive into a tale that's equal parts heartwarming, shocking, and impossible to turn away from. You're here because you love a good mystery, and I promise you by the end of this video, you'll get the answers you came for, but only if you stick around. Let's set the stage. Imagine a city like New York or Chicago, where skyscrapers touch the clouds and the streets hum with ambition. It's the kind of place where dreams are born and broken, where everyone's chasing something. Money, power, purpose. In the heart of this city stands Pinnacle Enterprises, a company that's the talk of the town. It's the kind of place where the coffee machines are fancier than most people's kitchens, and the employees are always dressed to impress, their eyes gleaming with that corporate hustle. Enter Sarah Mitchell, our leading lady. She's 28, sharp as a tack, and determined to make it big. Sarah's the kind of person you can't help but root for. She's got that underdog spirit, the kind that makes you think, man, if she can do it, maybe I can too. She's worked her way up from a small-town coffee shop to a junior analyst role at Pinnacle, and she's not stopping there. Sarah's got big dreams: VP by 30, corner office by 35, and maybe, just maybe, a life where she doesn't have to check her bank account before buying groceries. But here's the thing about Sarah: she's got a chip on her shoulder. Growing up, she was always underestimated, always overlooked, and she's carried that with her. It's what fuels her, but it's also what blinds her. She walks into Pinnacle every day with her head held high, but she doesn't always see the people around her. The ones who don't wear suits, the ones who don't have fancy titles. Like the guy she passes in the hallway, the one with the mop and the quiet smile. His name's Tom, or at least that's what his name tag says. To Sarah, he's just background noise, part of the scenery. But what she doesn't know, what you don't know yet, is that Tom is so much more than he seems. And that, my friends, is where this story gets juicy. You're probably wondering, why's a CEO pretending to be a janitor? What's he hiding? And what happens when Sarah finds out? Stick with me, because this is the kind of hidden identity reveal that'll have you talking for days. Now, let's talk about you for a second. Yeah, you, sitting there, maybe sipping a coffee or scrolling on your phone. You've probably had moments in your life where you felt like Sarah. Overlooked, underestimated, like you had to fight twice as hard to prove yourself. Or maybe you've been in Tom's shoes, blending into the background, watching the world go by, knowing you've got more to offer than anyone realizes. That's why this story's going to hit you right in the feels. It's not just about a CEO in disguise. It's about what it means to see people for who they really are, not just what they seem to be. It's about the moments that change everything. The conversations, the glances, the little decisions that lead to life-changing twists. And I know you're curious. I can feel it through the screen. You're wondering, what's Tom's deal? Why's he mopping floors when he could be sitting in a penthouse office? Is he testing Sarah? Is he running from something? Or is there something even bigger at play? I'm not going to spoil it yet, but I will tell you this: every single one of your questions will be answered by the end of this video. I'm going to take you on a journey that's going to make you laugh, gasp, and maybe even tear up a little. But you've got to stay with me. Don't click away, don't skip ahead, because every moment of this story builds to a reveal that's going to make your jaw drop. You're part of this now, and I'm counting on you to see it through. Let's dive a little deeper into Sarah's world. She's not perfect, and that's what makes her so relatable. She's got this fire in her belly, this need to prove herself, but it comes with a cost. She's so focused on her goals that she sometimes misses the bigger picture. Like, she'll spend hours perfecting a presentation for her boss, but she won't notice the way the security guard smiles at her every morning or the way the receptionist always saves her a donut from the break room. Sarah's not mean, she's just driven, and sometimes that drive makes her blind to the people who don't fit into her vision of success. That's where Tom comes in. He's the opposite of everything Sarah thinks she knows about power. He's quiet, unassuming, always in the background. But there's something about him that draws you in, isn't there? Maybe it's the way he carries himself, like he's got a secret he's not ready to share. Or maybe it's the way he notices things, like how Sarah's always rushing, always stressed, always one step away from burning out. Tom sees her, really sees her, in a way no one else does. And that's what makes this story so special. It's not just about the big CEO reveal. It's about the connection between two people who seem worlds apart but are more alike than they realize. You're probably starting to feel it, right? That itch to know more, to figure out what's going to happen when these two worlds collide. That's exactly why you need to keep watching. This is the kind of inspiring story that'll stick with you long after the video ends. Now let's talk about Pinnacle Enterprises for a minute, because this place is practically a character in itself. It's not just an office. It's a pressure cooker. The kind of place where everyone's competing for the next promotion, where every email is a chess move, and every meeting is a chance to shine or crash and burn. It's the perfect backdrop for a story about hidden identity, because in a place like this, everyone's wearing a mask of some kind. Sarah's mask is her ambition. She hides her insecurities behind her perfectly pressed blazers and her color-coded spreadsheets. Her boss, Vanessa, wears a mask of confidence, but you can tell she's always watching her back, worried someone's going to outshine her. And then there's Tom, the man with the biggest mask of all. Why's he there, sweeping floors and emptying trash cans, when he could be running the show? Is he an undercover boss, testing his employees? Is he hiding from someone, or something? Or is he just trying to find something real in a world full of fakes? These are the questions that are going to keep you hooked, my friends. And I know you're hooked, because who wouldn't be? A story like this doesn't come along every day. It's got everything. Drama, mystery, heart, and a twist that'll make you rethink everything you thought you knew about success, power, and the people we meet every day. Let's get personal for a moment. I want you to think about the last time you judged someone too quickly. Maybe it was the barista who seemed a little slow with your order, or the coworker who never speaks up in meetings. We've all done it, made a snap judgment, assumed we knew someone's story based on what we saw on the surface. This story is going to challenge that. It's going to make you question those assumptions, make you wonder who's hiding in plain sight in your life. Maybe it's the neighbor you barely notice, or the coworker you've never really talked to. That's what makes this story so universal. It's not just about Sarah and Tom, it's about all of us. It's about the moments when we realize the world is bigger, deeper, and more surprising than we ever imagined. And I know you're feeling that pull right now, that urge to keep watching, to find out how this all plays out. You're invested, and I love that about you. You're here for the journey, and I'm here to guide you through it. So, let's talk about what's coming next. Without giving too much away, I can tell you that Sarah's about to have a day that changes everything. It starts with a simple interaction, a spilled coffee, a kind gesture, a moment that seems small but sets off a chain reaction. And Tom? Well, let's just say he's not as invisible as he seems. There's a reason he's watching Sarah, a reason he's chosen this moment to step out of the shadows. But what is it? And what happens when the truth comes out? Okay, I see you out there, itching to know more. You're probably thinking, come on, just tell me already. What's the deal with Tom? Why's he pretending to be a janitor? I get it, I do. That curiosity, that need to know. It's what brought you here, and it's what's going to keep you here. But here's the deal. I'm not going to give you the answers just yet. Not because I'm trying to tease you, okay, maybe a little. But because the journey to those answers is what makes this story so special. Every twist, every turn, every moment of doubt and discovery, it's all leading to a reveal that's going to make you say, "No way," out loud. And I know you're going to stick around for it, because you're not the kind of person who gives up on a good story. You're the kind of person who loves a life-changing twist, who lives for that moment when everything clicks into place. So, here's my promise to you. Keep watching, and I'll deliver. I'll give you the answers you're craving, the ones that'll make this whole story worth it. But you've got to trust me, and you've got to trust the process. This isn't just a story about a CEO in hiding. It's a story about what it means to be seen, to be valued, to be known. And by the end of this video, you're going to feel like you've been on a roller coaster of emotions, one that leaves you inspired, uplifted, and maybe even a little wiser. Now, let's set up the stakes. Sarah's at a crossroads in her life. She's got a big presentation coming up at Pinnacle, one that could make or break her career. She's poured everything into it. Late nights, endless revisions, her whole heart. But she's also starting to crack under the pressure. She's tired, she's stressed, and she's starting to wonder if all this hustle is worth it. That's when she starts noticing Tom more and more. Not because he's doing anything flashy. Heck, he's still just the guy with a mop, but because there's something about him that feels different. Maybe it's the way he always seems to be there when she needs a kind word, or the way he listens when she's venting about her day. Little does she know, Tom's watching her for a reason. He's not just some random janitor. He's got a plan, a purpose, and a secret that's about to change everything. But here's the kicker. Just as Sarah's starting to see Tom in a new light, something happens that throws her world into chaos. A single moment, a single choice, that could unravel everything she's worked for. And Tom? He's at the center of it all, holding the key to a truth so big it could bring Pinnacle Enterprises to its knees. What's that truth? What's Tom hiding? And what happens when Sarah finally sees him for who he really is? You're going to have to keep watching to find out, because this is one undercover boss story you won't see coming. Here's where things get really interesting. Just when Sarah thinks she's got everything under control, life throws her a curveball. It's a typical Monday morning at Pinnacle, and Sarah's rushing to a meeting, her arms full of folders, her mind racing with a million thoughts. She's so distracted she doesn't even notice Tom until she literally crashes into him, sending her coffee flying and her papers scattering across the floor. It's one of those moments where time slows down, where you can feel the embarrassment creeping up your neck. But Tom doesn't laugh or roll his eyes. He just kneels down, helps her gather her things, and says something so simple, so kind, that it catches her off guard. For the first time, Sarah really looks at him, really sees him. And that's when she notices something strange. There's a look in his eyes, a quiet confidence that doesn't quite match the jumpsuit or the mop. It's like he knows something she doesn't, like he's playing a game she hasn't even realized she's part of. And right there, in that moment, the first crack appears in the perfect world Sarah's built for herself. She starts to wonder. Who is this guy really? What's his story? And why does it feel like he's been watching her all along? That's the moment this story takes a turn you won't see coming. And it's the moment you're going to want to hold on to. Because what happens next is going to change everything. For Sarah, for Tom, and for you sitting there watching this video, waiting for the truth to come out. Don't go anywhere, because the biggest reveal of all is just around the corner, and it's going to leave you speechless. Continuing from the cliffhanger in the introduction, the story picks up with Sarah standing in the middle of the Pinnacle Enterprises hallway, her papers scattered, her coffee seeping into the pristine carpet, and Tom's steady gaze meeting hers in a way that makes her heart skip a beat, not out of romance, but out of something she can't quite place, something that feels like the edge of a secret she's not ready to uncover. The moment lingers, heavy with unspoken questions, as Tom hands her the last of her folders with a quiet, "You okay?" His voice is calm, almost too calm, like he's seen worse messes than this and come out unscathed. Sarah nods, muttering a quick thanks, but as she hurries to her meeting, she can't shake the feeling that she's missing something big. That fleeting interaction, that split-second connection, is the spark that sets the next chapter of this story in motion. A chapter filled with hidden identity, corporate intrigue, and life-changing twists that will keep you glued to your screen. You're probably sitting there, wondering what's next, maybe even feeling that same itch Sarah's got, that nagging sense that there's more to Tom than meets the eye. And you're right. This isn't just about a spilled coffee or a kind gesture. It's about a web of secrets that's about to unravel, pulling Sarah, Tom, and everyone at Pinnacle into a storm they never saw coming. So let's dive deeper into this inspiring story, peel back the layers, and explore the world of Pinnacle Enterprises, where nothing is quite what it seems, and every choice could lead to a shocking CEO reveal. Sarah's day doesn't get any easier after that hallway fumble. She rushes into the boardroom, her cheeks still flushed from the embarrassment, only to find Vanessa, her boss, tapping her manicured nails on the table, her expression a mix of impatience and barely concealed disdain. Vanessa's the kind of woman who looks like she was born in a power suit, with a smile that's equal parts charm and warning. She's the VP of Marketing, a role Sarah's secretly gunning for, and she knows it. The air in the room is thick with tension, not just because of Sarah's tardiness, but because today's meeting is a big one. A pitch to land a multi-million-dollar client that could skyrocket Pinnacle's reputation and, more importantly, Sarah's career. Sarah's been working on this presentation for weeks, pouring her heart into every slide, every statistic, every carefully worded talking point. She's not just fighting for a promotion, she's fighting for a life where she doesn't have to worry about her student loans, her mom's medical bills, or the constant fear that she's one misstep away from losing everything she's worked for. But as she sets up her laptop, her mind keeps drifting back to Tom. Why did he look at her like that? Why did his calm demeanor feel so out of place in a world where everyone's scrambling for status? She shakes it off, focusing on the task at hand, but the seed of doubt has been planted. You know that feeling, don't you? When something small, a glance, a word, a moment, sticks with you, making you question everything. That's where Sarah is right now, caught between her ambition and a mystery she doesn't even realize she's part of. And that mystery is about to get a whole lot bigger. Meanwhile, across the building, Tom's back to his routine, pushing his mop down a quiet corridor, his earbuds in, listening to something that's definitely not the corporate-approved playlist. To everyone else, he's just the janitor, invisible in the way people like him often are. But if you look closer, and I know you're looking closer because you're as curious as I am, you'd notice things that don't add up. The way his hands, though calloused, don't quite match the worn-out jumpsuit. The way he moves with a purpose that's more deliberate than aimless. Tom's not just cleaning floors. He's observing, cataloging, piecing together a puzzle no one else even knows exists. You see, Tom's got his own reasons for being here, reasons that go beyond a paycheck or a whim. He's not just some eccentric billionaire playing undercover boss for kicks. There's a purpose behind his disguise, a mission that's tied to the very heart of Pinnacle Enterprises. Is he investigating something? Protecting someone? Or is he running from a past that's catching up with him? Whatever it is, it's big, and it's connected to Sarah in ways she can't even imagine. You're probably starting to feel that pull, that need to know more, just like I promised you would. This isn't just a story about a CEO in hiding. It's a story about trust, betrayal, and the kind of secrets that can change lives. And trust me, you're going to want to stick around to see how this all plays out. Let's introduce a new player into the mix, because no good story is complete without a few extra layers of intrigue. Meet Marcus, Sarah's coworker and self-proclaimed office charmer. Marcus is the guy who always knows the right thing to say, who can schmooze his way through any meeting and still have time to flirt with the receptionist. He's got his sights set on the same VP role as Sarah, and he's not above playing dirty to get it. To Marcus, Sarah's a threat. A scrappy small-town girl who somehow managed to outshine him in every project they've worked on together. He's not about to let her steal his spotlight, and he's got a knack for finding people's weaknesses. When he notices Sarah's distraction after her run-in with Tom, he sees an opportunity. Marcus doesn't know Tom's secret, nobody does, not yet, but he's got a nose for trouble, and he can tell something's off. Maybe it's the way Sarah keeps glancing at the janitor, or maybe it's the way Tom seems to linger just a little too long in the break room when Sarah's there. Marcus doesn't care about the details. He just knows he can use this to his advantage. So he starts digging, asking questions, watching Tom a little too closely. And that's where things start to get messy. Because Marcus isn't just stirring up office drama. He's poking at a hornet's nest, one that could bring down more than just Sarah's career. You're probably starting to see it now, right? The way this story is weaving together, pulling you deeper into a web of corporate secrets and hidden identities. You're not just watching a video, you're part of this world, and you're not going to want to look away. While Marcus schemes and Sarah scrambles, Tom's world is its own kind of complicated. Let's step into his shoes for a moment, because understanding Tom is key to understanding why this story matters. To the outside world, he's nobody. Just a guy with a mop, a guy you'd pass without a second glance. But inside, Tom's carrying a weight that would crush most people. He's not at Pinnacle by accident. Years ago, he was someone else entirely. Someone with power, influence, and a life most people only dream of. But something happened, something that forced him to step back, to disappear, to become invisible. Was it a scandal? A betrayal? A loss so deep it changed him forever? Whatever it was, it's left him with a mission, one that's brought him to Pinnacle under the guise of a janitor. He's not here to play games or pull pranks. He's here to find something, or someone. And Sarah, whether she knows it or not, is part of that puzzle. Every time he talks to her, every time he helps her pick up her papers or offers a quiet word of encouragement, He's testing her, watching her, trying to figure out if she's the key to what he's searching for. But here's the thing. Tom's not heartless. The more he watches Sarah, the more he sees himself in her. The hunger, the drive, the fear of failing. And that's dangerous, because it's making him question his own plan. You're probably feeling that tension right now, that push and pull between what Tom wants and what he's starting to feel. It's the kind of suspense that keeps you up at night, wondering what's going to happen next. And I promise you, it's only going to get more intense. Back at Pinnacle, the stakes are climbing higher. Sarah's presentation goes off without a hitch. Well, almost. She nails her talking points, the client's impressed, and Vanessa even gives her a rare nod of approval. But there's a catch. Marcus, ever the opportunist, slips in a subtle jab during the Q&A, planting a seed of doubt about Sarah's research. It's not enough to derail her, but it's enough to make her second-guess herself, to make her wonder if she's really cut out for this cutthroat world. As she leaves the meeting, her confidence shaken, she runs into Tom again. This time in the break room, where he's restocking the coffee filters like it's the most normal thing in the world. He notices her slumped shoulders, her tired eyes, and he says something that catches her off guard. "You're stronger than you think, Sarah. Don't let them make you doubt that." It's not just the words, it's the way he says them, like he knows her, like he's seen her struggle and believes in her anyway. For a moment, Sarah's defenses drop. She wants to ask him how he knows her name, why he cares, what he's really doing here. But before she can, Vanessa calls her back to the office, and the moment's gone. That's when Sarah starts to notice other things, little clues that don't add up. The way Tom's always around when something big happens. The way he seems to know things about Pinnacle that a janitor shouldn't. And the way her co-workers, especially Marcus, are starting to whisper about him. You're probably feeling it too, that sense that something's about to break wide open. This isn't just an inspiring story anymore. It's a full-on corporate conspiracy, and Sarah's right in the middle of it. Let's add another layer to this mystery, because I know you're loving the suspense. There's a rumor floating around Pinnacle, one that nobody talks about openly but everybody's heard. It's about the company's founder, a reclusive genius who built Pinnacle from nothing and then vanished years ago. Some say he retired to a private island. Others say he's still out there, watching his empire from the shadows. Sarah's heard the rumors, but she's never paid them much attention, until now. Something about Tom's presence, his quiet confidence, his cryptic comments, makes her wonder if there's more to the story. Could Tom be connected to the founder? Could he be the founder, hiding in plain sight? Or is there something else going on, something tied to Pinnacle's recent string of mysterious deals? Deals that nobody, not even Vanessa, seems to fully understand? Sarah's not the only one asking questions. Marcus, with his knack for sniffing out secrets, is starting to piece things together too. He's noticed Tom's odd hours, the way he slips into restricted areas without anyone batting an eye. Marcus doesn't know what he's onto, but he's determined to find out, even if it means dragging Sarah down with him. And that's where the tension really starts to build. Because Sarah's not just fighting for her career anymore. She's caught in a game she doesn't understand, with players she can't trust and stakes she can't afford to lose. You're probably on the edge of your seat right now, wondering how all these pieces fit together. Who's Tom really? What's Marcus planning? And what happens when Sarah gets too close to the truth? As the day winds down, Sarah's left with more questions than answers. She's sitting at her desk, staring at her computer screen, but her mind's elsewhere. She's thinking about Tom, about his words, about the way he seems to see right through her. She's thinking about Marcus, about his sly comments and the way he's always watching, always waiting for her to slip up. And she's thinking about Pinnacle, about the rumors and the secrets and the feeling that something's not right. For the first time, Sarah's starting to wonder if her dream job is more of a nightmare. She's starting to wonder if she's in over her head, if she's stumbled into something bigger than herself. And Tom? He's still out there, somewhere in the building, sweeping floors and keeping his secrets. But he's watching her too, and he's making a decision that could change everything. As Sarah packs up her things and heads for the elevator, she catches a glimpse of him in the reflection of the glass doors, a fleeting image that makes her heart race. There's something in his posture, something in the way he carries himself, that screams he's more than just a janitor. And in that moment, Sarah makes a choice. She's not going to let this go. She's going to find out who Tom really is, what he's hiding, and why he's here. But what she doesn't know, what you don't know yet, is that the truth is closer than she thinks, and it's more dangerous than she could ever imagine. Stick around, because this story's about to take a turn that'll leave you speechless, and the next chapter is where the real undercover boss reveal starts to unfold. Sarah steps into the elevator, her mind a whirlwind of questions, her heart still racing from that fleeting glimpse of Tom in the glass doors. The hum of Pinnacle Enterprises fades as the doors slide shut, but the weight of the day clings to her like damp clothes. She's replaying every moment. Tom's cryptic words, Marcus's sly jab in the meeting, the whispers about the company's shadowy founder. Something's off, and she can feel it in her bones, like a storm brewing just out of sight. She's determined to dig deeper to uncover the truth about Tom and why he's here, but what she doesn't know, what you're about to find out, is that the truth is already circling her, closer and more dangerous than she could ever imagine. Just as the elevator begins its descent, the lights flicker, and the car lurches to a stop. Sarah's breath catches, her hand gripping the railing as the emergency lights cast an eerie red glow. She's trapped, alone, in a metal box suspended between floors, and that's when her phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number. "Stop asking questions, Sarah. You're in over your head." Her pulse races as she stares at the screen, the words searing into her mind. Who sent this? How do they know what she's thinking? And why does it feel like the walls of Pinnacle are closing in around her? This, my friends, is where the story takes a wild turn, a life-changing twist that'll leave you gasping and desperate to know what happens next. You're hooked, aren't you? That's exactly why you need to stay with me, because this inspiring story of hidden identity and corporate conspiracy is about to explode into a shocking CEO reveal that'll turn everything you thought you knew upside down. The elevator's stuck for only a few minutes, but to Sarah, it feels like an eternity. She jams the emergency button, her mind racing through possibilities. Is this a random malfunction, or is someone sending her a message? The text burns in her memory, each word a warning she can't ignore. When the elevator finally jolts back to life and the doors open, she stumbles into the lobby, her nerves frayed but her resolve hardened. She's not the type to back down, not when she's this close to something big. You know that feeling, right? That moment when fear and determination collide, and you choose to push forward even when every instinct screams to run. That's Sarah right now, and it's why you're rooting for her, why you're invested in this undercover boss tale that's so much more than it seems. As she steps outside into the cool night air, she notices Tom across the street, leaning against a lamppost, his jumpsuit swapped for a plain jacket that doesn't quite hide the confidence in his posture. He's watching her, not in a creepy way, but with an intensity that makes her stomach flip. She starts to cross the street, ready to confront him, but before she can, a black SUV screeches to a stop between them, and a man in a suit steps out, his face obscured by the shadows. He exchanges a quick word with Tom, who nods and climbs into the vehicle. The SUV speeds off, leaving Sarah standing alone, her questions multiplying like stars in the night sky. Who was that man? Why is Tom meeting him in secret? And what does it have to do with her? You're probably feeling that same rush of adrenaline, that need to know what's going on. This is no ordinary story. It's a corporate thriller packed with suspense, and every twist is pulling you deeper into the mystery. Back at Pinnacle, Marcus is playing his own game, and it's getting uglier by the minute. He's been watching Sarah's every move, noticing her distraction, her sudden interest in the janitor. Marcus isn't stupid. He knows something's up, and he's determined to use it to his advantage. He's spent the evening in the office, long after everyone else has gone home, digging through old company records on his computer. He's not supposed to have access to these files, but Marcus has a friend in IT who owes him a favor, and he's not above bending the rules to get what he wants. What he finds sends a chill down his spine. A series of encrypted emails from years ago, hinting at a scandal that nearly brought Pinnacle to its knees. The details are vague, but there's a name that keeps popping up. Thomas Grayson. It's not Tom's name, not exactly, but it's close enough to make Marcus's radar ping. Could Tom be connected to this Thomas Grayson? Could he be the key to unlocking a secret that Pinnacle's been hiding for years? Marcus doesn't know yet, but he's got a hunch, and he's not about to let Sarah beat him to the punch. He starts piecing together a plan, one that involves getting closer to Sarah, pretending to be her ally while secretly gathering dirt to use against her. You see where this is going, don't you? Marcus is stirring up trouble, and he's about to drag Sarah into a corporate conspiracy that's bigger than either of them. You're probably itching to warn her, to tell her to watch her back, but that's what makes this story so gripping. You're in it with her, every step of the way, waiting for the next life-changing twist to drop. Let's zoom out for a moment and talk about Pinnacle Enterprises, because this company isn't just a backdrop. It's a character in its own right, with secrets buried so deep they could shake the foundations of the corporate world. The rumors about the founder, the mysterious deals, the whispers of a hidden agenda. They're all starting to converge, and Sarah's caught in the crosshairs. Pinnacle's been making headlines lately, not just for its flashy campaigns but for a series of acquisitions that don't quite add up. There's talk of offshore accounts, shady investors, and a board of directors that's more concerned with covering their tracks than building a legacy. Sarah's heard the gossip, but she's always dismissed it as office chatter, until now. That text in the elevator, the SUV whisking Tom away, the way Vanessa's been acting cagey about the new client. It's all starting to paint a picture, one that's equal parts thrilling and terrifying. You're probably starting to piece it together yourself, wondering if Tom's disguise is part of a bigger plan. Maybe a sting operation to expose Pinnacle's dark side. Or maybe he's not the hero you think he is. Maybe he's running from something, using Sarah as a pawn in a game she doesn't understand. That's the beauty of this story. Every answer leads to a new question, every clue deepens the mystery. You're not just watching an inspiring story anymore. You're in the middle of a corporate thriller that's about to take a turn you never saw coming. Here's where things get wild. Sarah, shaken but determined, decides to do some digging of her own. She heads back to her apartment, a cramped studio that's more ambition than comfort, and pulls out her laptop. She's not a hacker, but she's resourceful, and she knows how to work a search engine like nobody's business. She starts looking into Pinnacle's history, cross-referencing names, dates, anything that might connect to Tom. That's when she stumbles across an old article, buried deep in an obscure business journal, about a young entrepreneur named Thomas Grayson who co-founded Pinnacle with a partner before disappearing after a mysterious fallout. The article's light on details, but there's a grainy photo of a man who looks eerily like Tom. Same jawline, same piercing eyes, just younger and dressed in a suit instead of a jumpsuit. Sarah's heart pounds as she reads on, learning about a lawsuit, a betrayal, and a company left in chaos. Could Tom be Thomas Grayson? Could he be the founder, back to reclaim what's his? Or is he someone else entirely, someone with a vendetta against Pinnacle? Before she can dig deeper, her phone buzzes again. Another text from the unknown number. You're getting close, Sarah. Too close. This time, there's a photo attached, a blurry shot of her standing outside Pinnacle, taken just minutes ago. Someone's watching her, and they want her to know it. You're probably feeling that chill right now, that mix of fear and excitement that comes with a good thriller. This is the moment where the stakes skyrocket, where Sarah realizes she's not just chasing a secret, she's being hunted by one. Meanwhile, Tom's not as far away as Sarah thinks. He's in a dimly lit diner across town, sitting across from the man from the SUV. The man's name is Daniel, and he's no random stranger. He's a private investigator, hired by Tom for reasons that are still shrouded in mystery. Their conversation is tense, filled with coded language and half-truths. Daniel's pushing Tom to move faster, to make his move, before things spiral out of control, but Tom's hesitant. He's not just thinking about his mission. He's thinking about Sarah. He's seen the fire in her, the way she refuses to back down, and it's complicating things. He didn't expect to care, didn't expect to see himself in her struggle, but now he's caught between his goal and his growing need to protect her. You're probably wondering what Tom's endgame is. What could possibly justify hiding as a janitor in his own company? If it even is his company. Is he trying to take down Pinnacle from the inside? Is he after revenge, redemption, or something else entirely? And what about Sarah? How does she fit into his plan? The answers are coming, I promise, but not yet. This story's building to a climax that'll leave you speechless, and every twist is designed to keep you on the edge of your seat, craving that undercover boss reveal that's just around the corner. As the night deepens, Sarah's apartment feels less like a sanctuary and more like a trap. She's pacing, her laptop open to that article, her phone clutched in her hand. She's scared, but she's also angry. Angry at Pinnacle, at Marcus, at whoever's sending these texts. She's not going to let them intimidate her. She decides to confront Tom, to demand answers. But first, she needs to be smart. She reaches out to an old college friend, Lisa, who works as a journalist and has a knack for uncovering secrets. Lisa's skeptical but intrigued, promising to look into Pinnacle's financials and see if there's anything fishy. This is where the subplots start to collide, because Lisa's digging is going to stir up more than just dirt. It's going to uncover a paper trail that leads straight to the heart of Pinnacle's secrets. At the same time, Marcus is making his own moves, slipping a tip to Vanessa about Sarah's distraction, and hinting that she's been asking questions about the company's past. Vanessa, already paranoid about her own position, starts to see Sarah as a threat, not just to Marcus but to the delicate balance of power at Pinnacle. The tension is palpable now, a web of suspicion and ambition tightening around Sarah, Tom, and everyone else. You're probably feeling it too, that sense that everything's about to explode. Who's watching Sarah? What's Tom's real plan? And how far will Marcus go to come out on top? These are the questions that'll keep you glued to this video, because this corporate conspiracy is about to deliver a twist that'll change everything. The night ends with Sarah standing at her window, staring out at the city skyline, her mind racing with possibilities. She's thinking about Tom, about that photo, about the texts that feel like a noose tightening around her. She's thinking about Pinnacle, about the dreams she's chased and the price she's paid to get here. And she's thinking about you. Well, not you specifically, but the kind of person who'd be watching her story, rooting for her, wondering if she's going to crack the case or crack under the pressure. She doesn't know it yet, but she's about to walk into a moment that'll change her life forever. Across town, Tom's staring at a photo of his own. Not of Sarah, but of someone else, someone from his past, someone who's the reason he's here, pretending to be a janitor, risking everything for a truth that's been buried too long. As he slips the photo back into his pocket, his phone lights up with a message from Daniel. It's time. She's too close. Tom's face hardens, his jaw set, but there's a flicker of doubt in his eyes. Whatever he's planning, it's coming to a head, and Sarah's right in the middle of it. You're probably screaming at the screen right now, begging for answers, but I'm not going to give them to you just yet. This story's building to a climax that's going to blow your mind. A hidden identity reveal that'll leave you talking for days. So don't click away, stay with me, because the next part of this inspiring story is where everything starts to unravel, and the truth about Tom, Sarah, and Pinnacle Enterprises is closer than you think. The city skyline glitters outside Sarah's window, but her world feels like it's teetering on the edge of collapse. Her heart pounds as she clutches her phone, the blurry photo of herself outside Pinnacle Enterprises burning into her mind. Someone's watching her, someone who knows she's digging into Tom's secrets, and the weight of that realization is crushing. She's no longer just chasing a mystery. She's a target in a corporate conspiracy that's bigger than she ever imagined. Across town, Tom's in that diner, his fingers tracing the edges of the old photo in his pocket, his jaw tight as Daniel's words echo. It's time. She's too close. He knows Sarah's on the verge of uncovering the truth, and it's forcing him to make a choice he's been avoiding for years. You're probably sitting there, your pulse racing just like Sarah's, desperate to know who Tom really is, what he's hiding, and how this undercover boss story ends. You've stuck with me through every twist, every heart-pounding moment, and I promise you, this is where it all comes together. The climax, the resolution, the shocking CEO reveal that'll leave you stunned. This inspiring story of hidden identity and life-changing twists is about to deliver a finale that'll stay with you long after the video ends. So don't you dare click away now. Sarah's not one to sit still. Not when her instincts are screaming that she's onto something huge. She texts Lisa back, begging her to dig faster into Pinnacle's financials, and then she makes a bold move. She heads back to the office. It's late, the building's nearly empty, but Sarah's driven by a mix of fear and defiance. She's done playing it safe. If someone's trying to scare her off, it's only made her more determined to uncover the truth about Tom and Pinnacle. Sneaking into the office, she uses her keycard to access the records room. A place she's never had clearance for, but desperation makes her resourceful. Her hands shake as she sifts through old files, her flashlight beam darting across faded documents. That's when she finds it, a yellowed contract from a decade ago, signed by Thomas Grayson, co-founder of Pinnacle Enterprises, and a grainy photo clipped to it that's unmistakably Tom. The pieces start to fall into place. Tom isn't just a janitor. He's the man who built this company, the one who vanished after a bitter fallout with his partner Richard Hale, who's now Pinnacle's chairman. The contract hints at a betrayal, a deal that stripped Tom of his shares and left him with nothing. Sarah's mind races. Is Tom back for revenge? To reclaim his company? Or is there something else at play? Just as she's about to dig deeper, the door creaks open, and Marcus steps into the room, his smirk as sharp as a knife. Looking for something, Sarah? He says, his voice dripping with menace. You're probably gripping your phone right now, feeling the tension coil tighter, knowing this is the moment where everything could unravel. Marcus has been waiting for this, and Sarah's just walked into his trap. Across town, Tom's meeting with Daniel takes a darker turn. Daniel slides a folder across the table, filled with evidence of Pinnacle's recent shady deals, offshore accounts, falsified reports, and a paper trail leading straight to Richard Hale. Tom's been building this case for years, working in the shadows as a janitor to gather proof without raising suspicion. His mission was never just about reclaiming his company. It's about exposing Hale's corruption, a betrayal that cost Tom everything. His career, his reputation, even his family. The photo in his pocket? It's of his daughter, Emily, who he lost contact with after the fallout, a wound that's driven him to this point. But Sarah's involvement complicates everything. Tom's seen her struggle, her grit, her heart, and he's starting to realize she's not just a pawn in his plan. She's someone worth protecting. Daniel urges him to act now, to leak the evidence and bring Hale down, but Tom hesitates. If he moves too soon, Sarah could get caught in the crossfire, especially with Marcus sniffing around. You're probably feeling that same conflict, torn between wanting Tom to finish what he started and worrying about what it'll cost Sarah. This is the heart of the story, the moment where hidden identity meets raw human emotion, and it's about to explode into a climax that'll leave you speechless. Back at Pinnacle, the confrontation in the records room is a powder keg ready to blow. Marcus steps closer, his eyes glinting with ambition. He's been digging too, and he's pieced together enough to know Tom's no ordinary janitor. But Marcus doesn't care about the truth. He sees an opportunity to leverage this for his own gain. He tells Sarah he's been watching her, that he knows she's been talking to Lisa, and that he's ready to expose her for snooping unless she backs off and lets him take credit for her work. Sarah's furious, but she's also trapped. Marcus has connections, and he's not above playing dirty. Just as she's about to snap back, the lights flicker, and Tom steps into the room, his janitor's jumpsuit gone, replaced by a crisp shirt and a look of quiet authority. "That's enough, Marcus," he says, his voice steady but laced with steel. Sarah's jaw drops, and you're probably right there with her, your heart pounding as the truth starts to spill out. Tom reveals he's Thomas Grayson, the founder of Pinnacle, and he's been working undercover to expose Hale's corruption. Marcus laughs, thinking it's a bluff, but Tom's got proof. A USB drive with every incriminating document Daniel helped him compile. The room feels like it's shrinking, the air thick with the weight of this CEO reveal. Sarah's reeling, her mind racing to process it all, but before anyone can act, the building's alarms blare. Security's coming, and someone's tipped them off. Hale, who's been watching from the shadows, knows Tom's back, and he's not about to let him win. The climax hits like a freight train. Sarah, Tom, and Marcus are forced to flee the records room as security closes in, their footsteps echoing through Pinnacle's empty halls. Tom leads them to a service exit, his knowledge of the building's layout betraying his janitor facade. Outside, Daniel's waiting in the SUV, ready to whisk them to safety, but Sarah's not sure who to trust anymore. Tom's a stranger now, not the quiet janitor, but a man with a past she doesn't understand. Marcus, sensing his chance slipping away, tries to bolt with the USB drive, but Sarah tackles him, her determination outweighing her fear. In the scuffle, the drive falls into her hands, and she makes a split-second decision to trust Tom. They pile into the SUV, speeding through the city as sirens wail in the distance. Tom explains everything. Hale's betrayal, the stolen shares, the corruption that's been bleeding Pinnacle dry. He came back to take it all down, but Sarah's courage, her refusal to back off, changed his plan. He wants her to help him expose Hale, to be the face of the truth he's been hiding for years. Sarah's overwhelmed but nods, realizing this is her chance to make a difference, not just for herself but for everyone Pinnacle's hurt. You're probably cheering for her right now, feeling that rush of pride as she steps up, but the story's not over yet. There's one final twist coming, and it's going to flip everything you thought you knew. As they reach a safe house, a nondescript apartment Daniel's been using, Tom lays out the plan: leak the evidence to the press, expose Hale, and rebuild Pinnacle with Sarah at his side. Lisa's there, her research confirming everything Tom said, with financial records that could put Hale behind bars. It's a moment of triumph, the resolution you've been waiting for. Sarah's not just an analyst anymore. She's a hero, ready to take on the corporate world. Marcus, defeated, slinks away, his dreams of power crushed. But just as they're about to send the evidence to Lisa's editor, Tom's phone rings. It's Emily, his daughter, who he hasn't spoken to in years. She's been working at Pinnacle too, as an intern under a different name, watching her father from afar, hoping he'd come back. The twist hits hard. Emily's the one who sent Sarah those warning texts, not to scare her but to protect her, knowing Hale's men were closing in. She steps into the room, her eyes meeting Tom's, and the reunion is raw, emotional, a moment that brings tears to Sarah's eyes, and probably yours too. This isn't just a corporate takedown. It's a story of family, redemption, and second chances. You're probably floored right now, feeling the weight of that final life-changing twist, the way it ties every thread together in a way you never saw coming. The story wraps up with Sarah and Tom standing together, ready to face the world. They leak the evidence, and within days, Hale's arrested, Pinnacle's board is dismantled, and Tom reclaims his role as CEO, with Sarah as his new VP. Emily joins them, a family reunited, a company reborn. But it's not just about the victory. It's about what they've learned. Sarah realizes that success isn't about titles or corner offices. It's about seeing people, really seeing them, for who they are. Tom learns that hiding can't heal old wounds, and Emily finds the courage to forgive. For you, watching this, the takeaway is clear. We all wear masks, whether it's a jumpsuit or a suit, but it's the connections we make, the truths we uncover, that define us. This inspiring story isn't just about a hidden identity or a shocking CEO reveal. It's about the power of trust, the strength of resilience, and the beauty of second chances. You're probably feeling it now, that mix of awe and inspiration, that urge to share this story with everyone you know. So, hit that like button, share this video, and let me know in the comments what hit you hardest. Because this is the kind of tale that sticks with you, a corporate conspiracy turned redemption arc that'll leave you believing in the unexpected heroes all around us.